This is a 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD off-road, and Toyota finally decided to do a complete redesign on this nameplate. I borrowed it from Karl Malone Toyota here in Draper, Utah. This one might be available for sale. Be sure to call just to ask for availability. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see options and features on this build. At the very top is a description with the colors. So ice cap. This is built in Japan. And here's a short listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause it. Now, starting off the options is the floor mats. They are all weather for $248. Roof rail crossbars finished in gloss black for $420. Connected surfaces $485. Badge inserts finished in a matte black $65. Cargo tray $130. And then graphics, which you'll see around it. Destination comes in at $1,450, and then here is the total price at $52,373, and affiliate comment numbers are off to the side here. One thing I like about the new 4Runner is it does seem bigger, but I think it's a little bit smaller than last year's 4Runner for sure. And Toyota loves their off-road packaging, so there's many to choose from. This being more of the entry level. Now on the front end, you guys can see it has like a honeycomb design for the grille. I would have liked to see maybe the overlay for that Toyota badge, but yeah, I believe that is available. You have full LED headlights, high and low beam. However, you have incandescent turn signals there. LED fog lights right there. Has like a projector style beam there. Front parking sensors. Now it looks like it has a camera, right? But that's not a camera, it's just a block off. And then adaptive cruise control right there. I'm actually shocked to see the valance still down below. But that's going to help with aerodynamics and fuel economy. You have recovery loops down below. And then even on the side of that fender flare up front, you can see you have some aerodynamics right there. These are finished in plastic. But great design on the headlights. They're pretty much the exact same as what you see on the Tacoma, except these say 4Runner on the side of them. On the hood, you can see those graphics. And for white, it actually does add a nice style to it too. That's pretty much a heritage thing as well. They used to add graphics on the side of the 4Runners back in the 80s and 90s. Now here is a quick peek at the suspension. So why does the 4Runner ride so good? It's because of this. Dual wishbone. You guys can see right there, you have a off-road suspension. It looks like a Toyota Bilstein stamped shock, and it has an oil reservoir too, so this is definitely more overbuilt than what you're going to see like on a standard SR5. Now your upper and lower control arms are finished in steel. Your steer knuckle is finished in aluminum, so it's going to help with weight savings there. But overall, really overbuilt stuff here. Coilover setup. Now you guys can see the liner there. It is finished in a fabric material, and then here are the tires. These are the Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires. They're the AT3WAs, and tire size is 265/70/18. If you care to know inches, it's basically 32.6 inches tall, 10.4 inches wide, and then here is the capacity right here, 2,756 pounds. Max PSI is going to be 51. 6-lug wheels. And you have a black center with a machine outline, I guess you can call it. Like the brakes, 4 pistons, so these should pretty much be easy to service if you need brake pads. And those lug nuts have like a black chrome on them too. Side view, you can see more of those graphics right down there. This one does have the running boards, which come standard on TRD off-road. Mirror caps have turn signals, and they have a black accent here. It's like a matted finish. Blind spot, and I'm sure these are probably heated too. This does have smart key system, only on the front doors. And let's take a quick peek at these roof rails. Doesn't really show you a capacity for these, but online they do show it. I can't remember the number. I think it was like less than 130 pounds. So here's some of the badging right there. And the framing is going to be pretty much the same thing you see on the Tacoma. They do provide a liner out back, and you can kind of see through. More TRD off-road shock absorbers, disc brakes. These are vented too, so these are gonna be cooled. Let's see, this is where we're gonna fill up at. There might be a button on the inside. Let's check it out. If you want to open the fuel door, there's a button, and just push it once and opens. 19-gallon fuel tank. Regular fuel is fine. Now if you look underneath, you guys will see those Bilstein shock absorbers right there. You have that solid rear axle. Has a locker 358 rear end. And check this out. They give you a matching wheel and tire down below. Good job, Toyota. Good job. You have your 7 and 4 pin right there. Receiver hitch with the cover over it. And this lower bumper does have that matted finish too. This has a great design to it. Full LED tail lights and license plate lights too. This glass does slide down. They had that windshield wiper like they did back in the 90s. Glad they went back to that too. This cleans up the back end. And then here is that rear. This is pretty dang big. Pretty big. LED lights back here, tie downs right there on the side and on the floor. They do hide your tools for changing the spare tire, a little cubby right there, more lighting, and you have 400 watts of power. And if you have the third row seat, they already give you that back here too. Now I noticed there wasn't anything below the floor here, so it doesn't lift up. On the back of the tailgate, no lighting, just all hard plastic. They do provide defrost right there, and if you want to pull this down, the only thing they didn't add to this one is that pull-in, like so you don't have to slam it closed. If you would like to lock or unlock it, you can do it from here, and if you want to slide the glass down, you can too. Great taillight design, and here's a nice side view of the 4Runner. So here's the new powertrain found in the 4Runner. It's not new for Toyota, but for sure for the 4Runner for this model year. Now some people are going to complain that they shouldn't have an inline 4 turbocharged engine in a 4Runner, but you have to understand something. This engine is going to have more torque, more power for towing, for going off-road. You have deeper gears in the transmission because of the extra power here. Don't get me wrong, that 4-liter V6 naturally aspirated was the bomb when it came down to reliability. But as time goes, Toyota always fixes that down the road. So as far as the power goes, this is going to have 278 horsepower, which comes on around 6,000 RPMs, and 317 pound-feet of torque, which comes on around 1,700. This is port and direct injection, and that's a big deal. Like, I like the fact that they made this both. That way you have that spray on the intake valves, and that way they get cleaned out. So you're not going to worry about carbon buildup with this engine, which is definitely something that they solve with reliability and really just dependability and for fuel economy long term. There is an 8-speed transmission behind it, and as I said, you have deeper gears in that transmission, and therefore you don't really need low gearing out back, which is going to give you that better fuel economy, especially on the highway at 65 miles an hour. On the inside, they do have a black interior with a two-tone gray. Now, there is a lot of hard plastics, I'll be honest, all right here, but you do have soft touch leather. They do spell out TRD with like a gray trimming right here. Looks really good. LED lights, place for bottles, a little bit of storage. My favorite thing, you have auto up and down front and rear windows. Don't know why that has ever been an option. They should have always had that, but you even get that on these lower trim levels, which is nice. As far as the seating goes, look at the bowstring they give you on those seats, especially on the top here. And if you do really plan on going off-road, it's going to hug you in the seat a lot better too. I personally like that gray and black. Actually, it's like a gray and dark gray here. Lumbar support is right there. And you can pump this seat up to go a little bit higher, but manually operate it for all the adjustments except for the lumbar. Let's see if it has a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. So you guys see right here, tilt and telescoping. My favorite thing about 4Runner is they do give you this. If you need to level the headlights, if you have like a lot of stuff in the trunk and it starts to squat, or if you're towing a trailer, this is going to help lower those headlights so you don't blind oncoming drivers. You have your auto high beams, traction control, 120 volt power plug can be disabled right here. Here is your turn signal stock and lighting for high beams to push forward. Let's go and check out the passenger side. Pretty easy to get in and out. This kick plate here sits really low. You still have the same adjustment to pump the seat up and down on this side. You don't have lumbar, however. There is kind of a grab handle right here to get in. Open storage right there. Air vents, you can close them off by going to the right. Glove box, they give you the biggest glove boxes typically with these Toyota models here. Now, heated seats right there, there's a button for it. As far as your vanities go, they do provide a mirror with lighting. And my favorite thing about this is if the sun is further this way, you can slide this. Hopefully you guys can see it better. I like that they give that to you. Black liner on the roof, which gives it better styling in my opinion. And out back, that seat is pretty much all the way back here. Let's see, I'm 6'1", I'm mostly leg. And these nice seats too. The fabric feels a little bit more premium, which is nice. Real quickly, let's look at the door before I step in. Bottle holder. More lighting down below too, I like that. So at nighttime, you know where you're stepping at. And then getting in, grab handle. 6'1". Yeah, this is tight. It definitely is. The seat sits a little lower than I like, but it's not bad. I could sit back here for hours. The seat does recline too. Actually, it reclines a good bit. Down below here, you have air vents. You have a 120 volt power plug. You have 2 Type-C USBs. There is a hump in the center there. But when you get these body on frame SUVs, you're always gonna have that. And I think that I'd rather have that versus have a Highlander personally. So the seats do flip up like they did back in the day. This is a heritage thing. That's why they keep doing it. They could just have them fold flat. Probably be easier for them. But this is more of a heritage thing, I would say. LED lights out back. They do provide a armrest with 2 cup holders right there. There is 3 headrests in the rear. Let's go ahead and flip the seat too real quickly. Just to give you an idea how much you can recline that seat. Now, this is how you recline it, and then this is how you flip it up. So really easy to do. No storage right there, which I like to see. The Land Cruiser has that storage. They didn't give it to the 4Runner, however. And there's your seats. Let's go ahead and jump back over to the driver's seat. Here's your push button start, finished in red. So you have a 12.3 inch screen, 8 inch screen right here. And just take a quick peek at this center stack. I like the fact that you still have heated seats. I'm gonna turn them on for a second. It's kind of chilly, it's not too cold. It's probably like in the 40s today, so I wanna see how long it takes for them to heat up. You guys see where my phone is? There is a wireless charger right there. You have Type-C USBs. Here's your gear selector, it says TRD. Electronic parking brake. You have the hold function, so if you're at a stoplight, you can take your foot off the brake. You have 4 low, 4 high, then it's gonna stay in 2 high. This is your part-time 4-wheel drive. Wish they would do 4-wheel drive auto. That's just something I was hoping to see, at least with this model. And you have multiple drive modes, so you have Eco, Normal, and Sport. That's it. And multi-terrain system. Also, you have this crawl function too. There's your electronic locker button. Cup holders. And this is like a vinyl material for this armrest. decent storage. Oh, look at that. See right there? It says 4Runner. Now back over to the steering wheel. You see how they have this perforated leather? That's going to help breathe better with your hands, especially if you have sweaty hands. That's going to help with that. Here's some of your controls on the steering wheel too. Now this does have adaptive cruise control, as I said, on the outside. I'm going to use these arrows here for this screen so you guys can see. This is a really nice system. You can customize this quite a bit too. You have multiple pages here. Now if you hold OK, it allows you to go in here and, you know, change up a few things. You guys see you have a turbo gauge, auxiliary gauges, traction monitor, audio, navigation, so it gives you a compass, eco indicator, or if you don't want anything in there, you can do that. You can do the exact same thing on this side. It gives you fuel economy, driver support, so adaptive cruise control, navigation. So yeah, just a few of the things get put back over on this side too. Now on this screen, this is the 8-inch, as I said. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in reverse real quickly. So you have a backup camera. You can change the way the lines look too. You can also zoom in. You guys see that? It's pretty cool. So yeah, if you tap the screen there, you can do more of a wide angle. Yeah, that's nice. Let's go over to audio. If you don't know, this does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM. Obviously, that's on everything these days. Trip information, so you can see some of your MPG. Vehicle alerts will show up here. And if you want to customize this system, you have a few things here, like display. You can turn off the display, you can brighten it, change the contrast. Sound and media, it's right there. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much more to show. Up top here, if you want to drop down that rear glass, you can do that. You don't even have to hold it, it goes up automatically for you. Also, they have the SOS, and if you want to turn all the lights on in the interior, you could do that. Place up here for your sunshades. Let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. By the way, the seats do heat up probably within about 3 minutes or so. Also, it has a heated steering wheel, single climate control. I forgot to mention those things. Now, as far as the numbers go, if you do plan on putting this in a business name or planning on towing, these numbers are going to be important to you. Gross axle weight rating out front is going to be 2,900 pounds. Sorry about that. And the rear is going to be 3,755 pounds. The wheels are 18 by 7 wide, and gross fuel weight rating is going to be 6,240 pounds. All in payload, it's going to be 895 pounds, which is about the same as a Wrangler, and 37 pounds have to be deducted because of some of the accessories that were added to this model. I hope you guys liked the video. This is definitely a good attempt on a redesign. I think that this is probably one of the best SUVs on the market. Now, I will say, if you obviously know they have the Toyota Land Cruiser right there, how do they compare? The only real benefit of the 4Runner is that you do have an option for a third row seat, so you have 7 passenger seating versus the Land Cruiser, which only has 5 passengers. So if I have a chance in the future, I will put these side by side so you guys can see them. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Make sure your bell notifications are on. See you guys soon.